Rumors, and possibly a little bit of truth. What's going on, YouTube? What's up, Eagles fans? It's your boy TK the Official, and welcome back to another episode of TK Sports Talk Podcast, where we talk about the NFL, but more importantly, we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, man. After starting out the season 10-1 and then collapsing and ending the last 7 games, losing 6 out of those last 7 games, including an embarrassing loss in the playoffs to where it looked like the Philadelphia Eagles team was just not prepared, we knew that all kind of things were going to come out. We knew that there was going to be a lot of stories that were going to come out of the NovaCare complex. A lot of things were going to be uncovered, because when something like that happens, there's a reason. There is something going on behind the scenes, and we are just not knowing about it. All right, for a team to fall off like that, for a team to lose its leadership, for a team to seemingly not be trusting his coach, for players to seemingly be coming out and speaking up about Jalen Hurts, for Jalen Hurts to be kind of like sulking on the sidelines as things was going on, just looking disinterested with the game in Philadelphia, just after signing a $250 million contract. I mean, the guy just looked unhappy with football toward the last end of the season, all right? So now the latest rumor coming out of Philadelphia is that the Philadelphia Eagles just might be inclined to trade Jalen Hurts, all right? If the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to trade Jalen Hurts, Pro Football Talk, all right, put out this tweet today that if the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to trade Jalen Hurts, his contract is very palatable, okay? His contract is $44 million over the next 3 years, which means that he would not be making the average of $52 or $53 or $55 million like the top market quarterbacks that's in the top tier, top 10. Now, whether you consider Jalen Hurts to be a top 10 quarterback, okay, I'm not here to debate that on this particular podcast. Maybe we'll have another debate on another day, okay? But the problem is that Jalen Hurts regressed this year, okay? Make no bones about it, okay? I think Howie Roseman did a lot of things this offseason. I think he made a lot of mistakes, and it seems like when he was 10-1, we couldn't really see all the bad choices that he made. But as the latter part of the season really started to come into focus, we can tell how many bad personnel decisions he made, how many bad coaching decisions he made, including getting rid of Denard Wilson for one, okay? And then promoting Brian Johnson, who the latest report that came out earlier this morning was that the Philadelphia Eagles have officially released Brian Johnson as their offensive coach, all right? And no news on whether or not Brian Johnson was picked up by Atlanta, was picked up by Carolina, or was picked up by Tennessee. So good riddance to Brian Johnson. I hope you land on your feet. I don't know what happened. I wasn't happy with this offense all year. You was the quarterback coach for Jalen Hurts last year when he did very well while Shane Steichen was here. And inexplicably, you are the offensive coordinator this year. Okay, you are in his ear all the time. And though you're not his quarterback coach, that is your background. You are a quarterback coach, and your quarterback regressed this year. Okay, point blank, bottom line, I knew he wasn't going to get a head coaching job. In fact, it almost kind of looked like they were playing my man for the Rooney Rule this year. Okay, now that's another conversation for another topic, another podcast. We're not going to get into that. Okay, question is, will the Eagles be inclined to trade Jalen Hurts? Is there a team out there in the National Football League that is willing to trade for Jalen Hurts? And the answer is absolutely. Okay, now listen, regardless of how you feel about Jalen Hurts, all right, we're here in Philadelphia. We just had to deal with the aftermath of us collapsing toward the end of the season. So right now, emotions are raw, okay, because I don't know how I feel about Howie Roseman, all right? I don't know how I feel about Nick Sirianni, okay? I don't know how I feel about Jalen Hurts, all right? Sean Desai is gone. Matt Patricia's gone. Brian Johnson is gone, all right? I know how I felt about those three. I didn't like them. Okay, matter of fact, let me say those two, meaning Matt Patricia and Brian Johnson, okay? I think Sean Desai got the raw deal, okay? Seems like Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni or somebody down there has been trying to cover their tracks and been trying to save face by making some of these moves, all right? And it's all coming out now, all right? It's all coming out at this moment in time, all right? Is Jalen Hurts the quarterback of this particular football team? Did Howie Roseman make a mistake and pay Jalen Hurts too early? Okay, now listen, I went to Tampa Bay, all right, Philadelphia fans, okay? Let me know. First of all, let me know if you think that Jalen Hurts is unquestionably the starting quarterback for this franchise. Tell me if Jalen Hurts, okay, unquestionably is the leader for this for this team. Tell me, do you feel like Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for this franchise for the next 10 years? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not too sure. Okay. Now, this is not a case of recency bias or anything like that. I'm going to tell you, I went to Tampa Bay 2 years ago when the Philadelphia Eagles went down to play Tom Brady. Okay. I went down there drinking the Kool-Aid. All right, feeling good about my team, knowing that we wasn't quite ready to be in the position that we was in, but I was riding, okay? And it was the worst time of my playoff history of ever going and watching the Philadelphia Eagles play in the playoffs. And then to see Jalen Hurts go from what he went from to the next year was remarkable. It was absolutely remarkable. No one could understand what was really going on. But to watch this year, okay, to see that teams now have caught up with what this Philadelphia Eagles offense has been trying to do, okay, to see how ineffective Jalen Hurts has been, to see how immobile he has been at times. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not a big guy, okay? Now we hear a lot about how he squats this 600 pounds and this, that, and the third, and he got all these really good quotes and stuff like that, but watching him on the field, is Jalen Hurts a game changer or a game manager? Okay, and here I am. Listen, this is my guy. All right, it's the off season. It's time to be real about what's really going on, because this football team, this franchise wants championships. All right, we want championships, and that's the bottom line. Okay, because Jalen, let me tell you something right now. If you're listening to this, and you're probably not, but if you happen to catch wind of this, okay, we here in Philadelphia would like to keep the main thing. Okay, and what's the main thing? The main thing is winning championships. Okay, we've had quarterbacks here that we loved and we had to move on from. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, all right, you had a great, okay, year last year, absolutely outstanding. But we all have been wondering, okay, is that an aberration? Okay, was that the aberration? Is this the rule? Okay, the way you're playing the way you played this past season, the way you played your first season starting, okay, is that who you really are? Okay, because last year it seemed like you benefited from teams not really understanding what the Philadelphia Eagles were capable of and what we were trying to do and how they were going to come out here and defend it. Okay, and even toward this year, all right, yeah, we were 10-1. You want to know another game I went to, Philadelphia Eagles fans? I went to the Jets game. I went to Meadowlands. Okay, a buddy of mine got me some free tickets because there was no other way I was going to go. Okay, all right, but I went to that game. And in that game, I saw just a guy making bad decision after bad decision after bad. Now, it wasn't all on Jalen, mind you, okay? This year has been a crazy year. We've had turnovers, we've had fumbles, we've had interceptions, we had tips and overthrows, and it has just been a point of infunctionality. We win in 10 games. And after every game, we felt incomplete. After every game, it was something's not right. We're not playing to the standard. We're not playing to the standard. We're not playing to the standard. Jalen, you did not play to the standard this year, Jalen. Okay, there's plenty of times where we needed to lean on you, Jalen, and you were not there and not available for us at that particular point in time. And this is no disrespect. This is no knock on you, Jalen. But are you the guy to take us to the next level year after year after year? Now, make no bones about it. Jalen Hurts had one of the greatest Super Bowl performances from a quarterback in NFL history. Absolutely. You can't take that from him. You can't change the record. You can't change the history books. It is what it is. But he followed it up with being top fives in turnovers this year, being top 5 in interceptions this year. That's going to cause people to think, did we make a mistake? And if we made a mistake, how do we fix the mistake that we made? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, Howie is in a position or is in a mood where he's trying to fix a lot of his mistakes. Letting go of TJ Edwards, mistake. Okay. Paying James Bradbury, okay, mistake. Okay, letting go of both of your starting safeties, thinking that Reed Blankenship, okay, an undrafted free agent, was going to be this white unicorn and actually help you and be a new John Lynch or somebody like that. All right, mistake. And then you brought in some bums at the other safety position to compete for a starting position, and then you let the best of the worst start next to Reed Blankenship, to the point where you had to go out and during the middle of the season and go and bring in Kevin Byard, who again was another mistake. That was trying to put a Band-Aid. That was trying to put a lipstick on a pig at that particular point in time, all right? And it didn't work out. Move after move after move after move after move has not worked out. And now the biggest move that Howie Roseman has made during last year's offseason was signing Jalen Hurts to a $250 million contract. All right. And you know what? It's funny now because there was a rumor earlier in the week, right? There was a rumor earlier in the week that the Philadelphia Eagles were one of 5 teams. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles were one of 5 teams that contacted the Chicago Bears to see about trading for their number 1 pick. Okay. And at the time, I said, man, during this type of year, you hear all kind of things, all right? People are trying to drum up interest. You hear a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation. There's a lot of confusion going on out there, okay? You got to keep your eye on the ball, all right? But now with a report coming out that the Philadelphia Eagles could easily trade Jalen Hurts with his contract. There are teams, listen, regardless of how we feel about Jalen Hurts here, okay, because we're hurt. All right, there are other teams out there that evaluate Jalen Hurts that feel a certain way about him. And there are quarterbacks out there, quarterback coaches. There are teams, GMs, okay, all right, that's looking to make a splash, trying to do something, trying to figure out a way how to get ahead, all right? There are teams that are going to look at Jalen Hurts, not from this season. They're going to look at Jalen Hurts from last season and say, we can get that guy back. We can have that type of guy here in our facility, all right? $44 million for a quarterback, for a top 10 quarterback, if that's what you consider Jalen Hurts to be, is a steal. All right, because those type of players are being paid $55 to $56 to $50, $52, $53 million a year and increasing. The next couple contracts might just be at 60, might 58, 59. It's coming up there. Dak Prescott is up for a contract. A couple other quarterbacks might. Baker Mayfield out there is up for a contract. All right, would you rather pay? If you're Tampa Bay, let's say, would you rather pay Baker Mayfield or would you rather pay Jalen Hurts? Because what's Baker Mayfield going to ask for? Huh? He's not going to take less than $44 million a year. It's not going to happen at the quarterback position, okay? It's not going to happen, even for a Baker Mayfield. So if you're a team like Tampa Bay, how do you feel? Do you feel like, you know what, let's re-sign Baker? Or do you feel like, you know what, let's trade, okay, whatever we can trade. All right, maybe we take one of their cornerbacks and trade Jalen Hurts. Maybe we take Jamel Dean, they top cornerback, and trade Jalen Hurts so they can get him as a quarterback if that's what they wanted to do. Okay, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. All right, but could we trade Jalen Hurts to Chicago? Could we trade Jalen Hurts for Justin Fields? How would you feel if Justin Fields ended up here as your quarterback? Is Justin Fields a more dynamic quarterback than Jalen Hurts? Absolutely. It's not even close. Don't kid yourself. Listen, I respect Jalen Hurts. I won't say that I love Jalen Hurts, okay? I respect Jalen Hurts. I respect his grind. I respect his journey. But listen, I'm going to keep the main thing. The rent is due, Jalen. The rent was due. But it seemed like you got paid, Jalen. All right? And when you got the type of money you got, the rent ain't due. Because everything is paid for. You full. You ain't hungry no more. Okay? And that's what it seemed like this offseason. So I'm sure we're not down there at the NovaCare complex. All right. I'm sure that they've seen a lot of different things with Jalen. And maybe the question right now is, how much does Jalen Hurts really love football? Coach's son, been playing all his life. Okay. Now he's in Philadelphia. The media is on him all the time. He's got to talk. He really don't want to talk. All right. He's out there playing. He's really looking like he's not enjoying himself while he's out there. He's sulking on the bench. He's got teammates yelling at him, and he's just sitting there unresponsive. We had leadership issues with Carson Wentz. Do we have a different kind of leadership issue now with Jalen Hurts? Is this now a problem? Is this something that's growing down there at the NovaCare complex that Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, and Nick Sirianni has got to fix? Speaking of Nick Sirianni didn't draft Jalen Hurts. Okay? Nick Sirianni inherited Jalen Hurts. Could Nick Sirianni not be looking for Jalen Hurts to be his quarterback next year? All right? Could Nick Sirianni be trying to run a different type of offense that he would really like to run? Because Nick Sirianni ran offenses with Phil Rivers, looked good. Andrew Luck under Nick Sirianni was great. Hell, Jacoby Brissett under Nick Sirianni was pretty damn good. Okay? Gardner Minshew under Nick Sirianni was all right. Gardner Minshew this year under Shane Steichen was pretty daggone good. Okay? So for Jalen Hurts to have to run this offense, to have to run this system, for Brian, for whatever happened this year, okay? For whatever happened this year, all right? Does Nick Sirianni not want to run this system anymore? Does he want to change the system? And if he changes the system, does he feel like Jalen Hurts can manage and actually thrive in the system that he wants to run? I'm not so sure. And I don't think they're sure either. Listen, man. Should the Philadelphia Eagles really consider trading Jalen Hurts if they get an offer? His contract is only $44 million. Let me know, guys. Make sure you comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, and I'll be back with another video. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of things happening. We're going to talk about Howie Roseman a little bit more and the decisions that he made in the offseason and how they affected this team and how can he fix it so that we can get back to the Super Bowl next year. This has been your boy, TK the Official. This has been the TK the Official TK Sports Talk Podcast, man. Go Birds.